You're looking at E-34 Bright Star designed by Aiden Schable, who is one of the grand prize winners from this year's contest. Congratulations, Aiden, for winning this custom trophy featuring your name and E-34 Bright Star on it. You'll also receive access to the custom template designed specifically for your plane. Now, as you can see, this plane looks absolutely amazing as it is, with those really cool canards at the front, the awesome tail fins at the back, and just the general shaping of the plane is excellent. But if you would like to fold a plane that looks just like this one, you can download it and print it off at patreon.com/foldableflight by joining the templates and more tier, which is just $4 a month for this template, as well as over 90 others at this point. So head over there and check that out. Now, this plane does look awesome, but it also flies really well too. So let's see this thing in action, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. Now, I should mention that our book is currently on sale. If you head over to foldableflight.com and order from us there, you will get a free bonus template pack along with your order of the book. So if you're thinking you'd like my book anytime soon, now is the best time to get it. And with that, let's get back to the video. 3, 2, 1, go! All you will need in order to fold this plane is a square sheet of paper, and we're going to begin by folding this corner here to this corner. So you want to land that point right there, and then you can kind of tack your outer corners. Obviously, I already have this crease in place, but I like to tack my outer corners, make sure the crease is going right through the corners, and then sweep out from the middle. And then once you do that, you'll open it up, and then you'll just fold it in the other direction, landing this corner on that corner, and making sure your crease goes through each of these corners here. And your plane should look like this. And we're now going to fold this edge here into the center crease, meaning this point should land right on that point down there. And then you'll go ahead, flip the paper over, and fold this to the center crease there. And once you do that, we're actually going to kind of open this up and squash it just like that. And now we have a water bomb base. And you can see what that looks like inside to make sure yours looks the same. And now we're going to fold this edge here into the center. Do the same thing on the other side. So your plane should look like that, and we'll flip the paper over and actually do the same thing here. So we're folding this into the center. And do the same thing on the left. Okay. So your plane should look like that, and we'll actually unfold all of those creases we just made. So the paper looks like this again. And I'm going to stand this whole right triangle here up just like that. And I actually want to squash fold it. And I'm not going to make any new creases. I'm just opening up that pocket, kind of pushing down on that crease there. And that means it should fold right along those existing creases you already have. And then you just fold that flap to the right, just like that. And we'll stand this up. And now we're going to open that pocket up, squash fold right along those existing creases. Fold this back to the left. And we want to do the same thing on the other side. So flip it over, stand this up, squash fold it. And do the same thing here. Okay, So your plane should look like this. And now we're going to take this right flap and just fold it over to the left. So we're looking at it like this. And I'm going to make a crease taking this edge here to the center crease. And my crease should go right through my bottom point down here. And then I'll do the same thing on this side here. Okay, I'll unfold that for now. And then I want to flip this back in that direction and flip now the left flap here. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm folding this edge to the center crease. And my crease should go right through my bottom point. And I'll do the same thing here. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and pedal fold this side. So I'm rotating it into this position, and basically I'm going to be taking this point here and folding it all the way down to there. And as I do that, it will make a crease that goes right through here from this point to this point. But watch as I do this. The first step is actually that I just want to kind of open this whole thing up a little bit and reverse these creases that I already have. I'm just kind of folding along that crease and pushing that layer behind, just like that. And I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm just kind of pushing in, reversing that, and that's going to make it really easy now as I swing this whole thing forward to take this point to that point there. And then I can kind of flatten this gently so that the crease I make goes right to the center on both sides. Okay, and you can see, having done that on one side, I want to do the same exact thing on this side. So I will open this up, kind of just reverse those existing creases, just pushing it behind. Do the same thing here. Then once you have that diamond, you just swing it forward, land this point here on that point, and then gently flatten this. If you get something caught, you can reach into the pocket and just kind of massage it so that it can flatten properly. Just like this. And now I will rotate it into this position. And just to show you where we are now, you can see if I swing that to the right, we have two symmetrical sides. But I want to stay focused just on one side right now. So I'll swing this flap here to the left. And I'm going to make the canard of the plane. So let me just go ahead and do this, and then I'll explain exactly what I did here. Okay, so the first step is I'm folding this sideways so that this crease here is perpendicular to this crease here. So it makes a right angle. And once I do that, you can determine the distance just by aesthetically what you like. You can see this little section here represents the size of our canard. And then once we have it in this position, you can kind of take this edge here and fold it to this edge as you close this other side. So you can see I'm closing that up and just making sure this edge lands right on that other edge. And then I just crease it as it closes. So there you go. You can see that made one of our canards. Now I'm going to position the canard by grabbing all of the layers around it. And I'm going to line it up with my other side, because watch, I'm going to, swing this to the right, and I can match this one now to the first one I did, just like that. And then I just have to crease that little section. And then as I close that side up, you can see they're matched. And when I open this back up, I have two identical canards. Okay, and now we're going to swing this all the way to this side here. So literally I'm swinging every layer except for one on my right side. And I'm going to continue the line, this back edge of the canard here, to my center point. And that'll be one reference. And then this corner down here is the other reference. I want to make a crease that runs right between those 2 points, which is a little tricky because it doesn't want to lie flat as you do this. But basically you're just pulling that over, try to crease right to this corner and right to that point. Okay, and once you do that, you can kind of reverse this crease here and then close this up gently. Make sure that whole section lies flat, and as you close that up, you'll make the matching crease on the other side that goes to that corner. Just like that. And now we want to repeat those steps on the other side. So I can actually even fold this. You can see I'm bringing the two halves together so that I can open this up and just kind of pull this. I'm reversing this center crease, just gathering it, and you can pull, you can see how the spine moves forward as I pull that. Basically what I want to do is I want to land this point right on that point there to make sure my two sides match. Once I manage that, then I can just gently close this whole side up. If you'd rather follow the steps exactly as I did them on the first side, you can do that if that's a little easier for you, but you can see we've got those two matching creases on this side just like we did on the first side. And hopefully that means our plane is nice and symmetrical. Okay, now I'm using this existing crease I have on this first side, and I'm going to do what's called a jet fold. Now, it's easier. Let me go ahead and flip this over. If I kind of transfer this crease to these thicker layers on the bottom first, so I'm just folding right along that existing crease I have. So let's go ahead and do that. And now with the jet fold, we just kind of collapse that, and then you will fold your plane like this. I know this is a little tricky to describe, and you're going to fold this edge down to create that same crease on this side. So I'm just pressing it into this position here, lining everything up, trying to make sure it's nice and symmetrical still. And you'll see, if I open this up, you can see we've just got two identical creases here. And our plane looks like this. So now let's go ahead and just fold up our canards on either side. We'll fold up our wings right along that crease we have. If you want, you can open it up as you do this, whatever's easiest for you. We're just folding right along this edge. Just like that. And actually, yes, I think it's easier to work with it open like this. So let's now fold a line that is parallel to this edge here. So I'd say the line's going to be placed about here. If you're folding using the template, there will be a line on the template for you. But this is, again, it's just preferential, really. It can be whatever measurement you want. So I'm going to fold this layer, so I'm creasing right along that line, just like that. And once you do one side, of course, you can fold the other side to match just by lining it up like this. And then we're going to fold out. And again, we want this crease that we're making to run parallel to this line here. And you can see about how tall I'm making this. This is going to form a fin. Again, once I do one side, I can just fold my plane in half like this, fold my other side to match the first side, open that back up, and then I want to fold this so that the new edge I make lands right along the edge behind it. So you can see as I reveal that, this edge lands right on that edge. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, and now we're going to position it so that this layer here angles outward. So that's going to become the fin. We want it to lie towards the outer edge of the plane on either wing. And I'm going to fold, you can see there's this point right here where this edge is kind of intersecting right here. You'll be able to see it when we actually make the fold. And I'm going to fold all the way in. Let me highlight it, and then I'll show you better. We're going to fold all the way into that point on the plane. So watch as I do this. I'm going to grab this and pull it, and you can see it catches at that point where this edge here intersects. And then my crease goes all the way up in, which I'll make the crease, and then I'll show you exactly what I did again. So I'm just pulling these layers like this, creasing that goes into this pocket. You can see my crease goes all the way to that point up there. That creates the leading edge for our wing. And we want to do the same thing over here. So let's see, it's easier for me to do it this way. I'm going to just pull my first reference point, it kind of catches at right there. And then my second reference point is all the way up inside the plane. I'll show that to you again once I'm done placing my crease. Okay, you can see where that crease is headed to. And there we go. Now we can fold right along this existing crease and make the crease on this layer to stand our fin vertically. Do that on both sides. And we want to make little fins on the outside that run parallel to this fin. So I'm just folding a little winglet right here, right at the edge of my wing. And the crease I'm making, again, I want to be parallel to this fin. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, I just fold the plane in half, use the first side as a guide, fold this side to match. And now it's all about just setting our wing angles, locking the plane together. So you can see we've got the existing creases to make our jet fold. We can kind of just push the plane together like that. You can lift the wings a little bit. Got these nice canards at the front. And now we just need to lock the plane together by folding this edge here all the way up into the plane. And that's going to be a really thick layer. Make sure it's folded nice and crisply all the way to the back. And then you can push this fuselage back down. Set the wings at the angle you want. You're probably going to want them to be nice and flat across the back with all of your fins vertical. And there you go. I hope you were able to fold it. I know this one's a little complex, but all the same, good luck flying your plane. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. I'm now releasing a new tier where you can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable Fleet today.